Alright guys, we are on section 6.4, Common Equivalents. We're going to be looking at fractions and determining a common denominator and then getting an equivalent fraction for each of those fractions that has that common denominator. Sounds pretty confusing, I know. It really isn't. Watch what I do. Learn some new stuff and have fun doing it. So with these two fractions here, 5, 6, and 1/3. What is our common denominator, or LCD, between 5, 6, and 1/3? Well, if I count by 6s and I count by 3s, which is what I'm going to do, and I want to find the first number that they have in common. Six, 12, 18, 24, 3, 6, 9. Whoa, that was fast. Did you guys see that? They both have a 6 in common. So that means my common denominator is 6. Wasn't hard, was it? Now, I need to get two fractions that are equivalent. I need to get a fraction that is equivalent to 5, 6 that has 6 as its denominator. Shouldn't be hard, because I multiply these each by 1, and 5, 6 is equivalent to 5, 6. 1/3. Now how am I going to get that to have a 6 as its denominator? 3 times what gives me 6? 3 times 2 gives me 6. And as you may recall, when I do to my denominator, I have to replicate in my numerator to make it even. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 times 1 is 2. So those are my two new fractions. 5, 6 is equivalent to 5, 6, and 1/3 is equivalent to 2, 6. Hooray! I know, it's one of those things that seems easier than it should be, but it really is that easy. Let's try this one, and then you can do it on your own and see how you do. 5 ninths and 2 15ths. I'm going to count by 9s and I'm going to count by 15s, and I want to see what they have, the first number they have in common. Do you notice any numbers that they have in common? I do. I see that they have 45 in common. So that means my common denominator is going to be 45. Now I have to get new fractions with a denominator of 45. Now how do I go from 5 ninths to a denominator of 45? What am I going to multiply? 9 times what gives me 45? I have it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gracious, I can multiply by 5, numerator and denominator, to get an equivalent fraction with a denominator of 45. Hooray! Then I think, how do I get this 15 to have a denominator of 45? What do I multiply, the top and bottom? Well, I can multiply it by 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 times 3 is 6. And 15 times 3 is 45. So now 5/9 is equivalent to 25/45, and 2/15 is equivalent to 6/45. I'd love to see you do this next problem on your own. Find the common denominator for 1/2 and 3/8, and then find two new fractions, one for each, that is equivalent using that common denominator. Please stop the video and check your answer once you are done. Here's the answer I got. I found that a common denominator between those two is 8. And then if I multiply my first fraction, top and bottom, by 4, I got an equivalent fraction of 4/8. I also found that if I multiplied top and bottom of my second fraction by 1, it also gave me an equivalent fraction that had a common denominator of 8. I hope that you did well on this. Please mark yourself on your learning scale, learning target.